All right, what's going on, everybody? So, give a little update on the wagon situation here. I kind of been working on this in the background. Haven't really had much time to film stuff. Just trying to get things done. So, what I've been working on is I got most of the turbo kit done. All the intercooler piping made. This ended up being really tricky. It took me several days to kind of make all this, but Forrest got these welds looking really good. This TIG welding is coming out amazing. So. Ended up doing, kind of doing this brushed look. I really like the way this turns out. It's just kind of take some WD-40 and Scotch Brite and just kind of give it this dull look. Kind of takes the shine off it. So we did run out of gas though, so I didn't quite get to finish some of the pie cuts down in here. So Forrest is gonna weld those up for me, kind of finish off, the cold side kit. This is all done pretty much. Some of the threads got kind of messed up on my IAT sensor, but we got the tile blow-off valve all done and ready to go. So right now we're just kind of still in mock-up with some of this stuff. I still got to take it back off and Scotch Brite all this, make it look good. But all this week I've just been so busy, I just didn't really have time to film stuff. So we just kind of got some stuff done. I got my battery cables came in, so I got a brand new set of battery cables. I got to hook all that up. So I have to get my positive sides situated. I need to get a terminal and actually get a battery too. But I'm really happy with how we actually routed all this stuff. It's hard because it kind of has to go down right here to clear the vacuum line for the brake booster. So I'm probably going to cut this a little shorter, kind of make this fit a little bit better. But overall fitment looks pretty good. You can kind of see a 2-inch on the left side and a 2.5-inch on that side. So pretty happy with how that came out. I still have to do a little bit of trimming in the bumper around the actual pipes because the end of the grill is kind of about here. So just a little bit in the way, but it's almost there. It's almost done. Still have a couple little modifications I need to do to my downpipe though, because when I was welding up the wastegate recirc, which is the wastegate down there, it's a slip joint on the parent kit, and I forgot I didn't have the fire ring in there, so the V-bands don't quite line up. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that section out. We're going to put in a proper vibrant flex joint in there. So this will just make the downpipe 100 times easier to come on and off, which we're going to have to do a lot to get the cat welded in and the rest of the exhaust hooked up. So that's one thing we need to focus on, and get the exhaust actually done would be awesome. A lot of modifications to that there. We need to also make an intake, but for right now I'm focusing on the fuel system because this is something I've been putting off for a while. I picked up a really nice Radium hanger. So this basically fits all like GC8s or GDs, or it fits a bunch of different stuff, but you can run 2 pumps in here. And it already has, right now we're just sitting on the regular lines, but you can put on -6 lines in this. You have all your hardwire posts ready to go, so it's a really nice piece. Okay, so I just used a power probe and just probe. This is the actual tank harness on this side. This goes to the chassis. So I was able to just probe these 2 wires here, and the pump runs, and I was able to empty the tank that way because all the gas in this thing was bad. So I need to get this thing out of here. We're going to be running our own wiring for the actual tank and all this stuff. So I'm basically just going to take these lines off and kind of push them to the side. We might end up using the evap one, but these 2 we're not going to be using. But I don't want to completely take them out of the car. So I'm just going to kind of tuck them over here just in case we ever want to take this thing out and go back to stock lines. We can. So I'm going to try to get these off and go from there. Okay, those are disconnected. Let's push those off there. Just going to kind of tuck this over here for now. We got all these 8 mils we'll pull out, but first I'm going to set up the new pump. Okay, so I'm just going over everything it came with, and it looks like I am missing one fitting. I was hoping it would come with enough fittings to make this how I want it, but it didn't come with. So it came with this normally. It says -8 ORB to the push, I guess the quick disconnect locks for like GDs and stuff like that. I'm not using that, so I need a -8 ORB to -6 because I'm running -6 AN to both. So right now this is just a -8 AN ORB to -8 AN basically. So this one for the pump out, I'm gonna have to order that fitting, but I'm just kind of trying to set up the pump. So this is my Walbro 450. This does fit 2 of these, but I'm basically going to slide this in here with our connecting hose. Plug this thing in. Okay, so that was kind of a pain, but I got it set up with my Walbro 450. See, it comes with its own little sock that fits in there. It has a little one-way valve and a little sump it comes with. Just getting all this stuff in here, it's all kind of tight. Like this has had to be a little bit pushed to the side, but it comes with the right connector for the Walbro. This one is for the level sender. See up here on the top. So it doesn't have its own level sender, so I'm assuming it's going to bolt to the back here. So I need to get my original one out of the tank, see if we can take it apart and get that set up. Okay, so we got my stock hanger here. I just took that off. It's got some old nasty pump on it. I took the level sensor off that. It just takes those 2 bolts there. And we have our little float right here that gives us our, you know, how full our tank is. And then it actually does have a temperature sensor, so that's what this is. This is the positive for the little temperature sensor guy. And it has a black wire here that actually shares a ground right here with the level sensor. So pretty easy to hook that up. I'll just hook up the wiring to the top because we have temp, positive, and negative, and so I only need to use one of those. I'll just use the positive, hook up that yellow wire to it, and then we have our level, positive and negative, which is pretty simple. Red's positive, black is ground. You can just see that by the where they go on the thing. The power obviously powers the board, and so when it grounds to whichever position, it tells you where your fuel level is. So this is basically ready to go in the car. It's a lot more simple because I'm only using 1 pump. If I was cramming 2 pumps in here, it would be very tight, but you can do it. It's made for that. It's got the little fittings on it and all that, so if I need more fuel down the line, I can always add a second pump, but hopefully a single 450 will be enough. Okay, wires are all tidied up, connected to their posts. This stuff, I didn't want to have to use butt connectors, but it's not for the pump wiring, so it should be okay. It's just for the level sender. Alright, so it didn't come with a new gasket, which kind of sucks, but that's the connector I'm going to have to take apart to figure out which wires go to which. But I should be able to just slip this guy in here. Hold on. Okay, it was a little tricky to get it in there just because it's slightly in a different spot. And I had to kind of flex the level sender out of the way, but also getting all of these rubber nipples lined up is really important because there's 3 of them, and that's the actual gasket. And so you don't want one of those pinched, because then the gasket could be crooked and you could have a gas leak. So just got to tighten up all these 8mm bolts, and we're done. Just got to wire it in. Alright, for the rest of the fuel system, I'm running all PTFE-6 line all the way through, just because I am going to be running E85 and I never want to worry about lines deteriorating or anything like that. So I got this Aeromotive fuel filter, so this will go on my feed line. I got pretty much all vibrant fittings. All this is vibrant hose. It's pretty good, quality stuff on a budget, So I'm just going to run 2 of these under the whole car. So I got the first one started. Let me turn the light on here. Nope. But I got one line kind of going through there. I have it ran under the car. It's kind of coming out here right now. I got a bunch of extra length just because, let's see. Yeah, it comes out right here. You can't see nothing. But let me get a light. See, we got lines coming out right there, and so I'm gonna P-clip them all along the bottom of the car. That one did come with the wrong fitting, so I think that one will probably be my feed, and I gotta run another one for return. You can kind of see how they run down over here. But all right, so I got the fitting done, so all that's installed. I just have to connect the wires to my leads here. I'm gonna de-pin a few of these wires off of this one for like the sending unit and stuff like that. Obviously I don't need the power ones because I'm running my own. So I'm getting started on the fuel pump controller stuff. So I have a whole iWire hot wire kit, and I'm actually thinking I'm gonna install it back there in that little cubby. So what I did, I pulled that cubby out, and this is what I got so far. I got the big relay and switch and everything. This is my fuel pump controller, so I just kind of bolted it to the back of this thing. And normally this is where it goes in like a GD, but you know, this is not a GD, so I'm just gonna mount it in here. I got the wiring coming out the side here, and this actually came with an extension harness right here that connects into my fuel pump controller plug. So I got some grounds here I gotta connect, and then this I can just run this all the way under the carpet, all the way to the back of the car, into the back there. So I have a few things to connect after that, because like some of these wires will run, I believe these are the ones that run to the pump. It does have space for a second pump, which is this orange wire. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that back there. But I don't really ever use this cubby anyway. And if I ever need to get to this stuff, like in here is a fuse and some things like that. If I ever need to get to this stuff, I don't want it to be tucked under the dash somewhere. So that'd be pretty cool. Some other things I've been working on is I got all my vacuum lines mostly ran. This is my boost control stuff. I cut this intake down. It actually is going to fit pretty nice right there. It's ran the harness underneath it. It looks a lot better. I went through and I'm installing all the vacuum lines for like the purge stuff. I don't have a purge valve yet. I just have the solenoid, so I need to get one of those because I like to hook it up. I don't want to just have it open doing nothing. So but I ran all the vacuum lines to like the boost controller stuff, the fuel pressure regulator here, or not boost control, the blow-off valve. And we also kind of got one of the AC lines done. So we made this little joiner right here. Basically just joined the car side, which is that big old plug there, to a R134A like STI AC line that I kind of bent and made fit under here. I need to bend this down just a little bit more because it's kind of touching right there, so I don't want it to be touching, so I'm bending that down there. I ordered a new compressor, so this is the one I'm working on now. See, I bent it down this way because we're going to run it under the intercooler over here, and this is my original, because this car was R12, so this was the original condenser. It's still good. It worked plenty fine before, so I want to take this line and we're going to just cut this here and weld those two together. I might bend this out a little bit more and just make sure this fits nicely, and then should have AC. So still waiting on some parts to get here for that, but it's looking really good. I also went through and finalized all of the heater core hoses, so I got new hoses for that. You can't really see it down there, but I tied in the cylinder 4 cooling mod down to that heater core hose here. So this one just runs under the pitch mount. So that's all set up. I have a couple more grounds to connect. It's all the little stuff right now. I'm just going through and just finding things that need to be dealt with. Like, one of the big things is the power steering. I don't have that situated yet. I did get radiator hoses, so I got just a OEM radiator hose down there. And then I actually had to make this because I couldn't find a radiator hose in this exact shape, so I bought this is just a radiator hose from the STI, like a new one, and then I just chopped the straight section out because normally this would come out here, and then the STI has its port here, and then the Legacy one doesn't fit either because this is over and pointed in the wrong direction anyway, so it kinks shut every time I tried to use one. So basically I got a little aluminum intercooler pipe. That's what it looks like. It's a little 1.5 inch thing. It's bead rolled, and so I made a joiner out of that and joined those two together. It fits pretty nice. Not a big fan of how this looks with all the hose clamps and stuff, but you know, until I find a hose that's this exact shape and size, I'm just going to run it. So what else? I made a heat shield here. So this is some heat shield material I got at work. It was being thrown away, so I repurposed it. Kind of made it look nice. It's not really secured yet. It's just kind of wedged in there. So I'm going to bend it to shape exactly how I want it, and then I'm going to probably use some zip ties and just tie it up out of the way. I might run some more shielding stuff on that stuff too. Just trying to heat protect everything I can. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so I got the power wire all ran through under the carpet on that side. I'm doing the same thing on this side, so just pull the trim off and I can get this back. And I'm just going to run this guy underneath here. Kind of get some length out of it. Try to get it up in that floorboard. Okay, so I ran all that under the carpet. It also had me run that white wire right here, which is, I guess, the ground for the fuel pump controller. It wanted me to run it to the old pump's ground, so that's what that one right there is. So just tied that in, put all the interior back together. Came out pretty good. I'm just going to throw this seat in here now, just to kind of cover up a lot of this wiring and not just have it exposed, but one sec. Alright, so these are my matching black leather seats that went with these GDWX seats, but you know, they're going to be kind of tricky to get to fit. It's just missing a lot of the same brackets and stuff. And so I think I'm basically going to have to make my own hinge down at the bottom. Maybe I could try to transfer the old ones over. And I'm probably going to have to move this latch down about 2 inches because it doesn't quite line up. So shouldn't be too big a deal, but at least for now, I'll just cover up the wiring with the seat. So kind of get it out of the way. But I also working on, where did that thing go? This coolant expansion tank. I did want to use the OEM one because the Killer Bee one I got just doesn't fit. But neither did this one, so I'd actually shave this one down, cut that bracket off, so we can actually fit it here. And my intake will fit through there. I did kind of have to dent it pretty bad. But, you know, oh well. It's covered up by the expansion tank anyway, so and this will actually fit there. Something like that. So, not the prettiest thing, but I'm sure I might work out a different solution for that later. But, yep, you can see I got my main power wire here from the this is from the hot wire kit in the back. That's the wire that runs all the way through, that big red wire. So I should be ready to put a battery in this thing, but I don't have a battery. So I'm gonna have to go get one and start plugging things in and testing things. But still a lot to do. So this video is already pretty long, so I'm gonna end it here. But thank you guys for watching. Be sure to tune in next time because we're getting really close. We're going to get this thing started up here pretty soon. Get on the dyno and hopefully shoot for that 500 horsepower station wagon mark. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.